Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lily, and I'm really happy that you're here with me today. The last video in the previous video, I talked about how I was going to recreate these little stamp wallets, and we kind of went over the measurements, and I cut out a bunch of these little covers, and I also used the Tim Holtz die to make the little slots. And so now I am here to show you how I've embellished the little wallets. And then I thought it would be fun if we embellish one together, but let me show you that I also found, now I told you I was going down to the basement because I had a feeling I had a bunch of these file folders, you know, the large hanging files, not the hanging files, the large file folder. I already cut it up or I would show it to you, but they're just the file folders, and I did have some in this craft color, which is super close to the original stamp wallet, so I'm really happy that I found some, and I was able to cut a few. So I have some here. Now, I've cut out a bunch of these little cards already, but for the journals, I only need 6 of them. I do have extras, but I'm only going to use 6, one for each of the journals, but I thought it would be fun if we embellish one together, even though I think I'm done. I'll count them. I should have 6 embellished ones. If not, we could work on the 6th one together. Let's see. So I also have this color, and so I really like this color. This is from a vintage binder pockets. So these turned out really good. Okay, so let's work on one. Here's the original again. And then I used the Tim Holtz stitch slots for the inside, but I just love this original one. And this is the little box it came in at the yard sale with all of these stamps. But recreating this has been so much fun, and decorating and embellishing it. I think they're turning out really cute. And I've already set aside some of the items that I want to work with. So I have this beautiful napkin. So I'm going to use a piece of that. I have some book paper. So I kind of have an idea of how I want to embellish the one that we're going to work on, because I've already made a similar one and I really like the way it turned out. In fact, I think out of all of them, it is one of my favorites. So let me show you the ones that I've already worked on. Let me adjust the lamp. I'm working late at night and I just don't want to get too much shadow, and I want it to be as bright, as clear and as bright as I possibly can get it. Okay, so here is one. I did have this brown cardstock. Again, I found it in the garage. Can you see that? Let's see. Let me bring it up close so you can see what I've done. So I have just kind of I did a little collage on the front, and then I went over it in that style that I like with the distress, with the little white marks on it. It's my favorite thing to do right now. So you'll see it on everything. I'm trying to hold back so I don't go crazy with it. Okay, and then on the inside, I also did a little bit of collage here. And then I made a cute little pocket. So I just took this paper, folded it up, and then embellished it a little bit. And it's a little pocket for more ephemera. Oops. See how I get shadow there? Sorry, I'll try to be fast. And then here is the Tim Holtz die cut using that stitch slots die. And then I've embellished it as well. And so now, so cute. I like it. So, okay, that's one. Here's a second one, book paper, and then this beautiful tulip napkin on the brown cardstock. And then the inside. So I'm not done. I still need to tuck in some ephemera that I'll be adding to these. But I stamped it. I did a little bit of just kind of smeared or dry brushed some paint there. And then also there's a little pocket right here. and then embellished it here a little bit. And then so all of these little slots right here will have an embellishment, excuse me, some ephemera. So, but yeah, so cute. There's that one. And then here's this one. Again, I really like the look of the napkin with the book paper. And that's how I'm leaving the front. And then here's the inside. I did some stamping with some acrylic paint. And then made a mini envelope. And then just stamped and embellished a little label. And then did some stamping. And then more collage right here. So there is a pocket here. Let me use my left hand. So here's an envelope pocket here, and then a tuck spot here, and then all of these ready for little bits and pieces of ephemera. Okay. Here's another one with the napkin, and then book paper, and this is on that beautiful, that vintage, this mustard color. It's just so pretty. And then inside, notice how I left the little edges there. I like the way that looks here on the end. And so here I added a little a Rita flip right there with some scrapbooking paper. So now there's a little pocket right here. Okay, and then did a little bit of collage and some stamping. And then did more collage and some stamping here. And then again, there's that. So isn't that cute? And then here's this one. This one's also one of my favorites. And I used manila. Is it manila? Just the regular file folders. And I'll link the video at the end of this video, so it'll take you back to the video before this one where I talk about cutting these down. And in fact, we cut some down and go through that process. So I'll link it at the end so you can watch that video. So this one, I did, again, book paper and then just some collage with some scrapbooking paper. Excuse me. Yeah, scrapbooking paper and just scraps. And then some stamping there as well. And then another Rita flip here. And then this is actually a big washi tape right there. And then some stamping on book pages. There's also a pocket here. And then more collage work here. Ready for some ephemera. Okay. I really like that. I really like the stamping over the book pages. I'm going to save this one for last. And then here again, more of that tulip napkin. Decoupaged over book page. Oh yeah, this one was really fun to make. I made a belly band. So let me get something a little bit larger so you could see. And I wasn't sure where I was going with this, but I decided to do a belly band. So there it is. And so I used a Tim Holtz flower there, die cut. And then there's just some book page and some scrap paper that I glued onto the back on there. And then a little bit of Tim Holtz washi. But yeah, that is so cute right there. And then over here, I did a little bit of collage. There's some stamping there with some Tim Holtz stamps and just some scrapbooking paper, scrap paper, some little Tim Holtz washi. And so that will be ready for ephemera. And then here's just some altered tickets. And then that's my writing right there. I just wrote the word love. So, but I really like the way this belly band turned out. And this paper that's underneath, I'll show you really quick. My mother came across a big sheet of this paper. I've already cut a little envelope out of it, but it's really cool. I don't know where it came from. She just thought that it was interesting and she liked the texture and she knew that I would like it. And so she just brought me this piece of paper and it's really thin, but it is beautiful. It has like this embossing on it. So that is what I used underneath as the belly band. But I really like the way this turned out inside. And I like that. Okay, here's the one that I really liked. So this is, I stamped on book page with acrylic paint and some foam stamps that I picked up at the thrift store. And then here is, so here's this napkin. Here's the napkin. And so I just cut out a single flower and then glued it down. So I really like this. I love the way that looks in the background, that acrylic paint. By the way, that is one of my favorite colors, which is like it's like an aquamarine, kind of turquoise kind of color, and I love it. And then inside, again, just more decoupage and stamping, and you won't believe what this is. Whoops. So this is a little pocket right here, okay? But this right here, you won't believe what it is. It is packaging. Now, I drink Zip Fizz, and the box of Zip Fizz comes with these little, and I don't have the full piece anymore to show you, but it's a box, and then inside is this cardboard with little holes in it, and it holds the little individual containers of the drink mix. And so I just took it apart and then distressed it a little bit and then made a pocket. I didn't know I was going to do that. That's just what happened, but I like the way that looks. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cute? And then there is a big butterfly stamp and then a little bit of collage work right here with this is from the Tim Holtz die. And that same stitch slots die, I get this little label die as well. So I cut a bunch of those too. And then I added a little bit of glitter washi tape there. But I really like how this one turned out. It is so cute. So let me just put that there. Oh, and I kind of made another one here and then wrote the word love. I'll just put that in there for now. Okay, so I want to do another one like this. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I actually have 7 of them. You know, I told you I would be making like 100 of them. I mean, if I didn't have these journals that I really want to complete, you know, finish in the near future, I would have easily made 100 of these earlier today. And I didn't realize that I had gone over 6, but they're just so fun to make, and they are so cute. So that was great. I love that I found that little stamp wallet at the yard sale, and I was able to draw inspiration from there. Okay, so one of these, I've already glued it down. Okay, so this is the inside of a junk mail envelope, and in the previous video, I wanted to glue it down, but I was using new adhesive, this one right here, and I was kind of getting the hang of it, and I got glue all over it. Anyway, I let it dry, and so now I have glued it down the way it should be glued down. And so it took me a minute to get the hang of this glue, but I really like it. And so now I'm ready to work with it, and I've been creating with it all day. And so here is the pocket. So let's embellish this. Let's work on it, and then once I get this one done, then I can move on, and I think I'm ready to start sewing the signatures down in the junk journals. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on some of the pages, maybe some stenciling. But yeah, I'm excited to get those done. And like, I'm even excited to see what they're going to look like in the end. So I'm just taking this book page, and this is the same one that I've been using for a while now, which is really brittle. In fact, I don't even need the ruler to cut it. If I fold it, and I'll show you. If I fold it, it is so old and brittle. This is from a book, you guys, from 1898. And it was in my parents' garage. It's been through the elements, and so now it just breaks apart. So I really don't need a cutter or scissors or anything to cut it. I just fold it, and it kind of snaps in half. See? Wow. Yep. Okay. So let's glue that one down. Actually, that one's going to go on the front cover. Okay, so let's glue it down. We had a little scare this past weekend. We are in the city of Lehi, out here in Utah. And there was a fire up in Traverse Mountain, which is about 4 or 5 miles just north of where we live, or where my parents' house is. And fireworks caused a huge fire, and oh my gosh, it was so scary. It was so smoky. So that was at Traverse Mountain, which is just north of where we are. And then soon after that, my daughter calls me to tell me that she had been evacuated. There was an emergency evacuation where she lived, and she lives in Saratoga Springs, which is across the lake. There's a Utah lake. So we are in Lehi, and then there's Utah Lake, which is just west of where we are. And I mean, I could see it from my parents. I could see the lake from my parents' house. Well, across the lake is Saratoga Springs, and they were having a brush fire out there, wildfire. And my daughter calls me, and you know, I could feel, you know, the panic and the anxiety that she was feeling, and you know, that's your child. And so whatever your kids feel, as a parent, you feel it too. And so she was telling me that she knew that there was a fire down by her, where they lived, but a little bit further south from where they were. But there was so much smoke, and she knew it was getting, you know, it was the winds were blowing the snow in her direction. So she kind of wanted to take a look to see how the fires, you know, what was going on. So she stepped out into her backyard, and she just couldn't believe the smoke, and there was no visibility. She stepped up, because her backyard kind of goes up in a hill, and so she stepped up onto the hill area to look beyond, you know, that hill in her backyard, and that was in flames. So that was going up in flames. So she ran inside, told her husband that they needed to leave, and shortly after that, the police arrived, knocking at the door, you know, telling them they needed to leave right away. And so they evacuated 13,000 people in that community. And so that was scary. And so she came here, and which is, I want to say it's about 20 minutes. So the drive is 20 minutes, and it's really just coming down, getting across from the lake over here onto the east side of the lake. So they came here last night, and, you know, were telling us about it. And you can imagine the anxiety that her and her husband were feeling, you know, wondering what that was going to be like, you know. And these are things that we see happening in the news, and then it hits home, you know. But luckily, I have some good news. They were able to get back into their house just earlier today, this afternoon. They were given the green light to go back home, even though the fire was only 25% contained. They were safe enough. It was safe enough for them to get back. However, they did say that if it picked up, they would need to be prepared, you know, to leave again. So I'm going to use some of this Mod Podge here, and just a little bit to go over the flower to make sure that it sticks down. if there's other ways of doing this. I'm sure there's other ways of doing this, but this is what I've been doing with my tool right here. But it looks really good. So they were able to go back home, and she was just so happy that that her community, they were okay. There wasn't a lot of damage. There were some fences that melted, and I believe there was one house that was completely destroyed. I mean, I feel so bad, you know, for those people, but I'm glad that there were no one was hurt. Everyone was able to get out safely. So that was great. Now, let me tell you, we had like winds that were blowing like 60 miles an hour with that fire. But then, by the grace of God, you guys, it started to rain. Can you believe that? Let me tell you, it was like 90 degrees when those fires were ablaze. And we're in June. Utah weather here is so hot and dry. But you know, we are known for getting these summer showers, but let me just tell you, we went from 90-degree weather, dry, 60 with wind 60 miles an hour. I know I sound like I'm a weather person. That night, it went down to like 43 degrees, something crazy like that. And then it started raining, but it was cold. And usually we get these hot summer showers, but it was cold. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And that's about all I want to do to this cover. The other one I used, where is it? So this one I used some of that. I did some acrylic stamping, but this one I wanted to leave like this. So, and I really like the way that looks. Isn't that pretty? So, long story short, they're home, they're safe, and the community was slowly, the neighbors were slowly getting back into their homes, but they're still on alert. I haven't checked to see what the weather is like. Excuse me. The containment. But I told her to call me if she needed anything. They didn't stay here last night. They actually went over to her in-laws, and they stayed in Provo with the in-laws. But we were ready to house them here. My parents have, they have an extra bedroom to accommodate, you know, to accommodate them, but they had already made plans to go down to the in-laws. Oh, and they were here, and my daughter really hadn't come over because of quarantine, but they came over and they were wearing their masks, and yeah, and they were only here for a little while. They had dinner and then they left. But oh my gosh, my heart sank when she called me, and she was just, you know, filled with terror because we didn't know what the outcome. So, you know, we all just we all prayed that everything would be okay. And so that worked out good, and I'm happy for her. And she's home right now, and they're safe. And I'm glad that everyone else is safe too. So I don't know if that may have upset my stomach, because I had an upset stomach today. And I think it's just from maybe that caused me a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of stress. And I had started crafting earlier, but I couldn't concentrate. I just couldn't do it. Okay, I'm going to stamp a butterfly on that. And my mind kept wandering. Okay, you guys, I wasn't going to show this, but I am. I purchased some more stamps. Now, these stamps have been on my wish list for a really long time. Last summer, my sister took me to a vintage shop here in Lehigh, and they carry these stamps. Let me show you the packaging. So they carry these stamps, and they are from, this is, let me see, make sure there's no glare. This is by Iron Orchid Designs, IOD. And these are for stamp, these are larger stamps for decorating purposes. But, you know, stamps are for whatever you want them to be. Paper, walls, fabric, whatever. And so I did go, so I remembered that that they were there. And they're open for limited hours. And I had gone to the post office, and it's just down the street from the post office. So I thought, oh, I wonder if they're open. And so I went over, and they were opened. And you have to wear a mask, and only a limited amount of people are allowed inside. So, you know, we're being careful. And I went in straight to where they have the stamps. And let me grab a ink pad. And oh, they had so many beautiful stamps there. And like I said, I have been wanting these for a year, knowing that they were there. And so after I went to the post office, let me do a little bit more. After I went to the post office, it's just down the street. So I walked in there, and yep, there it was. Or there they were. I did get a few others, but I'll show you those later. They are beautiful. Okay, so I want a stamp, but I don't want it on the edge. I only want it on this little paper right here. Okay. And isn't that gorgeous? So I love these butterfly stamps. So I've been using them a lot today. Oh, but what I was saying a moment ago is I tried crafting earlier today, and I just couldn't concentrate. I kept catching myself kind of wandering, just kind of staring out into oblivion. And so I realized that this was before my daughter was told they can go back home. And so I just couldn't do it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So pretty. Okay, so now I am going to do, I'm going to add one of these. These are mailing labels. They are by Jam, and they're just address labels in a brown craft. And so I may have shown these to you before. I purchased these a while back. If I didn't, I'm sorry. But I got these a while ago, like March, I think it was. So I'm going to add that right there, and they're real sticky. Wait, let me do. It'll give it a little bit of dimension. So I was trying, what I wanted to do was record this earlier during the day when I get, you know, when I have sunlight. Because I just get a better lighting. And even though this is one of those daylight bulbs, it's still not the same. It's not the same as natural light. Okay, so that is going to go there, and I am going to, I had fussy cut a little flower earlier, or a while back, and I know it's in here. Where is it? Because I want to use it. Here it is. That one. Because, like I keep saying, you don't want to watch me fussy cut all day long. So I am going to put that there. Oh, and I want a word. So let's put a word in here. I thought I had a word already cut up. There is one here that I want. These are my Spanglish words. Well, they're not Spanglish. They're just, I have words that are in English and in Spanish. I'm actually thinking about, now these are words that I just use, that I just created and printed on coffee dyed paper, but I'm actually thinking of improving them a little bit and then maybe adding them to my Etsy shop. What do you think about that? I'm still thinking about it. I have to find out. I have to figure out how. How to do it. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, so I think I'm ready for another glue stick. Because any second now, that's going to fall out like it's known to do while I'm stamping. It just falls out. Okay. I would have probably been done sooner had I not been talking so much. But I thought I wanted to share that story with you. Okay. How's that? Isn't that cute? I love it so, so much. I really, really do. And then let me just, what I'm going to do really quick. Do I have time? I hope so. Where am I? Yep. Almost. Where am I? Oh, I thought I cut a square. I didn't cut a square. Okay, I'm going to do a little Rita tuck here, a Rita flip, and like that. Yes, like that. Where am I? These always, they're kind of tricky sometimes. Oh, I hope you guys are all doing well. Oh my gosh, did I do that right? Yes, I did. It's tricky sometimes. Okay, you guys, I am just about out of time, but that is exactly what I wanted to do. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So I've got a tuck there. Okay, oops, this side. I've got a tuck here. And then everything ready for embellishments there. And I'm going to link the video so you can watch the one prior to this, okay? Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I wish you all well, and I will catch you next time. You guys take care.